We're doing things today that are encouraging taking care of ourselves. I've said this in many videos before, but when we can care for ourselves, then we are more capable to care for our homes and our families and those around us. And self-care is a very used word and phrase, but I do think it's important to find things that bring you joy and happiness to be able to encourage you to care for others. And I am sharing just little ways that I care for myself in the winter. First things first, a nice early morning brisk winter walk. Even if it's chilly and the wind chill is -10, I get outside. That fresh air is beautiful and wonderful, and I just enjoy the peace and quiet of the early morning hours. Stretching is another way I care for my body. As I'm aging, I'm not old per se, but as I get older, things get more tight, and especially if I work out, which you will see I do, I just need to stretch a bit more. You know, we do things as mamas that are not always typical. The bending down, the playing with kids, picking up toddlers, and sometimes even our older kids, and holding babies, that it can be achy and sore for doing things we do. And it's just good for our bodies to stay fit and keep that muscle toned that we have. And so I really care for my body in that way, with a walk and with weights and stretches and just ways to maintain what God has given me. My mind is a very important piece of my life to maintain, and that includes my spiritual life, because in my heart and soul and mind is God's word, and I trust that that is important for me and rely on it. I have this little notebook where I write scriptures down that I want to work on memorizing, and then I also have conversations with my husband in the early morning hours. That is self-care in and of itself, because with little kids, oftentimes we don't get as much time to converse during the day or when he's at work. So having that special morning time is important to me, to be able to talk, even if it's 10 to 20 minutes, just uninterrupted conversation time along with my Bible reading. Nourishment is another way to care for ourselves. I eat 3 square meals a day, plus I do eat snacks, but I am a nursing mom, so we are burning those extra calories. And besides, if I'm exercising too, I want to get that good protein. So things like scrambled eggs or fried eggs, sourdough bread, avocado, sauerkraut, that is our typical breakfast in the morning. If we don't have that, I'll usually have some homemade Greek yogurt or something of that nature, or even cottage cheese. And then, of course, I enjoy memorizing scripture while I make the breakfast. I have my little notebook open often so that I can just look at it and try to use it for memory. And then supplements. So this is something that I have done for years in taking different supplements. So a prenatal beef liver, because I usually have low iron, especially when I'm pregnant. Magnesium, and then of course now vitamin D, because we all lack in vitamin D, especially in the winter months. Even if I get outside often, it's very important for me to have that. There's always little things we can do to create joy and care for ourselves, like diffusing a beautiful scent, or when we're getting over colds, to diffuse Thieves or Guardian, because I use Eden's Garden brand from Amazon. And so something that just smells good, makes the home cozy and warming for the winter months, is a way to just bring a little joy and also light. If you don't open your blinds or curtains, I recommend it. The natural light is so important to us, especially in the winter months, because the days are so much, or the daylight is so much shorter. And when we can get all the natural light in, it really just helps our moods, and I think it helps the atmosphere of my home. Now I'd like to talk to you about another way to care for ourselves, and for me that has been finding clothing that fit well in this postpartum season, and finding some staples that look good, feel good, and that I can function well in the home as a mama of 4. This postpartum, I have not gotten back into a shape that I had been my previous ones, which is okay. I have a little bit more hips, which my husband doesn't mind. So I wanted things and pieces that I can go to and wear often. So this is my favorite outfit, this combination. This sweater is beautiful. It's a little more breathable because postpartum sweats are real, you guys, and I get a little bit warm. So it's airy in the sleeves, and these pants are one of my favorites. The jean and the green, I really enjoy a dark green pant. They are so loose and comfortable. Now this other tighter shirt is meant for, I feel like, under outfits. I bought it to go under this dress, which it doesn't fit quite right under here, or under some rompers, which I'll try later in the spring to wear, but that is more of a polyester material, which I'm not as big of a fan of, so I'm not sure about that shirt. But this dress will be a beautiful addition for transitioning into spring. It's great for nursing because it's partial button down. I could wear it in the winter here with some leggings and a sweater, or then of course in the springtime as well. So I'm looking forward to wearing that one. And then this larger oversized denim jacket. It was a little bit bigger than I anticipated, but I do think oversized is a little in. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. We'll try it every once in a while here and see if I enjoy wearing it. But just finding pieces that I can be comfortable in being a mama and being home with my kids, running errands, out and about, taking kids here and there, but being put together nonetheless. So you can find that collection of what I just wore for you down in the description box if you are interested in finding any of those pieces. Now we're going to do a little makeup and facial and hair self-care. This is my regular routine in the mornings. I do very minimal makeup. I've shared that before. And having a good claw clip, my goodness, I know they're popular, but it's so fun to just have a kind of quick, unique hairstyle that goes up in seconds. Also, while you're in the bathroom, you might as well do a little cleaning and get the laundry started. So this is just part of my day-to-day. But I do think there's something special about having nice hand towels, some nice towels that work for you and your husband. And that's the thing about self-care. It doesn't have to be something that you just spoil yourself in all the time. It can be those little things in the daily life, like having nice towels and nice hand towels and a good vacuum. I shared this vacuum in my last video. Many of you probably already own a vacuum like this, but I'll link it in the description box again. But this Dyson vacuum, oh my goodness, it's been a game changer. I used to just do like a dry Swiffer after every meal. This vacuum takes way less time, and I can ask my oldest 6-year-old to just up and grab the vacuum, and she loves doing it to clean up after our meals. So those little things that are part of our homemaking life that help us function better can be part of caring for ourselves, because it also cares for the home. Just part of my morning is our school routine. As one works on spelling words on the computer, I do a matching game with another one, and just finding joy in the mundane. Homemaking, stay-at-home mamas, life can get mundane, and finding the little things that bring us joy, like when a kid gets excited about finding a match, or when someone sounds a word out just right, or they spell something right, they color a picture and they show it to you. Be excited, find the joy. It's just something fun that I think is important, and I remind myself of that often, just to bring joy to the home with how I respond and how my attitude is towards the children. All right, friends, we are having a staple in our home during the winter months: grilled cheese and tomato soup. So sometimes convenience is necessary. And in this case, I do use some sourdough bread that I've made, but you can see I have a box of tomato soup, and I don't often do just store-bought things, but this Pacific brand is great. I really enjoy those tomato soups. The kids love it. It's natural, organic ingredients, and I get those just off of Amazon or from Azure Standard, so I can link that for you in the description box too. But I think sometimes when we make our life easier with having some good natural staples in the home that are homemade-ish, it just makes life much easier. And on particular days, if you're busy with something, you need those quick and easy, almost convenience meals that are still nutritious. So now it's on to prepping the evening meal. And this was a little bit more of a feat to tackle because I am making a pork and vegetable stew. And the pork I was supposed to use a pork roast, not with bone-in, but I had bone-in. That's all I had. So I made it work. But oh boy, it was a lot of work to cut around all the fat and the bone and to get it chopped up into the cubes, the 1-inch cubes, to have in the flour and seasoning mixture. So it took me a little longer than I wanted, but sometimes I enjoy just working with my hands in the kitchen and serving my family in that way. And it's okay, especially since the lunch meal was so simple, to work a little bit harder at the evening meal. So making this lovely dish for my family and being able to enjoy making it, had to even grab the little baby and put him in the carrier so he could get a little more time in for napping. And of course he's awake right now, but sometimes he wakes up mid-nap and he just needs a little bit more sleep. So right next to mama is the place to be. As I think about self-care a little bit more, I am not one to go get my nails done or get a pedicure or go out to dinner or buy a special coffee anytime I'm out and about. I don't think that's self-care. I think that's, I'm going to be blunt, I think that's kind of selfish, especially because I'm one who likes to be financially savvy and frugal with money. I think it's okay to do it here and there every once in a while. I do get chiropractic care and I do get massages because I have a naturally bad back, which is due to genetics as it runs in my family. But I think there's something to be said about taking care of ourselves. That's different than treating ourselves often, and being able to figure out the difference for ourselves and what we need for ourselves, I think is important. So honestly, after nap time, a couple days a week, the kids get to watch a show on my laptop, and so they are doing that while I catch up on a little bit of M is for Mommas, Hard is Not the Same Thing as Bad, because I am reading that with a friend, and we're doing the study at the end of, or the questions at the end of each chapter. And that is self-care in and of itself. Being able to have a friend who has community in that way that we can share our thoughts and responses to that question, I think is probably one of the best things for care, is having community and a really good friend you can be able to discuss harder questions with. So as I do dishes, I just enjoy that beautiful sunlight. And then this is probably a treat, but a homemade latte is my afternoon treat of choice. And I will make that, sip on it, and then we'll head outside like I shared in my last video. It's something I enjoy and is caring for myself in a special way. Time outside. Oh, beautiful outside. When the sun is shining in the winter months, I will soak that up. And the little guy loves his naps in the stroller outside. He'll get a good hour chunk of his late afternoon nap, and he loves it. Something I do for myself is get fresh cut flowers. And I just walked to our local flower shop this time in our small town and purchased a bouquet from our florist there. It was just a small little bouquet, but I really enjoy the color and the life it brings to the kitchen table, especially in the darker winter days. I've said this before, and I've shared blog posts about getting through the winter, and honestly, having flowers on the table is a really joyous thing for me. And besides, it's supporting a small town local business, which I don't do this weekly. Sometimes I'll buy flowers from Aldi or Walmart, but you know what? These flowers were just as beautiful, a little bit more, but they were within walking distance with all the kids to be able to go pick out a bouquet for the table. And I had to put it in a jar this time because it wasn't as full of a bouquet as I thought it was. But a little mason jar is beautiful nonetheless, and just such lovely flowers to add to my home to bring life to a darker space when the winter months are around us. Summer months, I will of course go and cut my own cottage flowers out of my cottage garden and bring those in. But winter calls for a little bit more special flowers every once in a while. Lighting the candles and closing up the curtains so we have a cozy dinner sitting down as our family, because again, those meal times are so special. And I think if we can just recognize how important it is to have that quality time together, that is caring for ourselves as well, because quality time with people is important. And that is one of my love languages, is quality time. Treating myself to a yummy tea. I found this brand on Amazon. I think you can get them at like Whole Foods or some other places that I have really enjoyed. There's like a dark chocolate. I think this one is, vanilla nut, just with a splash of heavy cream. It is my go-to evening drink. My nighttime face routine includes the Clear Tonic and the Glow Serum from Tubes & Co. And I will often do a dry brush as well on my skin. And I think it's important, as I've been aging over the past couple years and have had more kids. I'm noticing more wrinkles. I am getting gray hairs, that I want to age well, and caring for my skin with natural organic products is a way that I can help myself age in hopefully a more beautiful way. And aging is beautiful, and I just want to take care of my skin and body well. So, speaking of massages, I have had this back massager. It was a gift from my husband for Christmas many years ago, and I use it every so often, especially on days when we've had a more strenuous day or just my back is sore. It's just really nice to sit down to a heated back massager, peruse a garden book, chat with my husband again, and enjoy some laughs. And that just brings all the joy and all the self-care. So I hope you just enjoyed coming along as I shared how I take care of myself just on a day-to-day. And it's not to be selfish, but it's just to care for myself so that I can in turn care for others.